still stays. We fought it out through the long, hard days. From spring ball till the final down. Blood, sweat, and tears on hallowed ground. From the trenches to the long end zone. Joe Wilson Field, that's what greatness shows. Cleats on the turf, hearts in the fight. We gave it all on the Friday night lights. Hear that Viking horn calling loud. We hit the field to make our hometown proud. Every touchdown, all the records we broke. Legends rose while pretenders choked. Referee whistle and the place stops cold. Band's too loud, that's what we told. Coaches calls and the fans loud roar. Wintersville, we're all living for. Replays burn on the screen so bright. Heroes rise in the heat of the night. Bridgman jamming and the bass gets low. Welcome to the palace, welcome to the show. Hear that Viking horn, it's calling loud. We hit the field to make our hometown proud. Every title, every ring we chase. Title town, you gotta love this place. Roll the tape, let the big plays fly. Call the shots that lit the sky. Win or lose, we bet our soul. That's the heartbeat, that's the goal. Now the final whistles ringing strong. We raise our voices, sing it loud and long. Touchdowns made and the Giants fell. This is the story we'll always tell. Hear that Viking horn calling loud. We break it down to make our hometown proud. Every title, every ring we chase. Title town, you gotta love this place. Crimson and white, the standard we fly. Thursday night show got the whole town high. LG on the mic, set the tone just right. Coaches moves, how we win the fight. Professor's knowledge, let's keep it gritty. Make the call, Vikings by today. Hear that Viking horn calling loud. We break it down to make our hometown proud. Every title, every ring we chase. Title town, you gotta love this place. Victory song in the afterglow. It's the Viking Nation. Bad. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, Viking Nation. My name's LG, your host with the most. It's senior night this week, and I want to put on my best dibs here. So, what you think, man? What do you think about this hat on me? Oh, hold on, I got you on mute. What do you think about this hat on me?
I think you know I'm gonna laugh. That's why you had me on mute, right?
I look
But I
like
like
I'm all jacked, don't I?
I like it. I need one. I'm jealous.
There you go.
I'm jealous. I need one, man.
Hey, welcome to the Viking Nation Live, Viking Nation. Listen, it's been a long week, but you know what? We're on the eve of another fantastic football game from our Lowndes Vikings. So welcome to the professor and all of you Viking maniacs out there. Professor,
Yes,
after
sir.
week one, are you more confident, less confident, or about the same about this Lowndes team?
I'm about the same. I'm
Okay.
about the same. Nothing really. Well, we had some things, some players that stood out, and we'll talk about that a little later on. But I'm about where we thought we'd be, especially after finding out that Jace wasn't going to be available,
Yeah.
and I reckon he ain't going to be available this week. I'm about the same, and then last week's game was a little of an anomaly. We didn't kick off to 9:35.
Yeah.
So it was wet, lightning. So right now I'm about where I was last week.
I got you. Okay. Hey, that's fair. That's a fair statement. Because, honestly, we really didn't learn very much about our team. It's cool when we have a big win over a team we're supposed to have a big win over.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. We expected the defense to be flying around. Now, I was pleasantly surprised at how well the defense played from the very beginning. You know, let's face it, Jenkins is a good smaller class team. They really are. They had size on the front. They had a very shifty running back. They gave us trouble for the first one or two possessions, that kind of stuff, and that's pretty good for a smaller class team, right? They were predictable as they came down the stretch, and I think we were able to adjust pretty well. But overall, I give our defense a B plus, and we'll get into the grades a little bit later as we go on. So, just to let you guys know, the agenda for tonight's show is obviously we're going to review the Jenkins. We're going to break that down. We're going to introduce a new segment this week, the Langdale Kia. I'm so excited about this, and you were Professor, you were instrumental in putting this together. The Langdale Kia Player of the Game for the Jenkins game that we had. So you want to say something about that?
Yeah, I always felt like, well, we do this show to really support the program.
Yeah.
And it's no other way than to say, hey, let's get let's nominate some players and have a player of the week, right? But the thing of it is just that we don't pick the player of the week.
Yeah.
Drum roll, please. You guys do, and so we just nominate the guys, and then you guys are gonna go vote for it, and when they win the player of the week, they get one of these. Uh, Hold this up,
There you
Viking
go.
Nation
Yeah.
player of
Look
the week.
at that. All right.
Right?
Now we're not doing like a offense and defense, special teams, and all these different categories. We're doing one player that not that our fans think deserves that title of player of the game.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and I'm excited, man. I'm really excited. So, and and thanks to Langdale Kia, and the general manager Kelly Walker, for sponsoring these, and shout out to
Yeah.
our good friend Freddie Simons over there at Tyler Time for getting these shirts made up for us. So,
Absolutely. And like the professor said, the way this is going to work is we're going to throw out some nominations and then we're going to remove ourselves from the vote, man. It's totally up to you guys who you think should be the player of the game. Okay. Based on I think we're going to give 4 nominations,
yeah,
something
yeah,
like
we're
that.
good for.
Okay. All right. So we'll do the Langdale Kia, the player of the week. We will talk about uh, our latest segment. You know, we've introduced this a couple of weeks ago, and that's the overreaction or legit, right?
Yeah,
That is becoming a very fun segment.
yeah. Sometimes, sometimes we overreact. Sometimes we overreact, and sometimes we overreact in a positive way. Sometimes we overreact in a negative way. But either way, a reaction is a reaction, and that's what you're gonna get from us.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. So we'll review how Region 17A is doing as we go along throughout the season. And you came up with another, listen, you have been on a roll lately because you came up with another way to recognize our, what you call legends of the concrete palace.
Oh yeah, that's something I'm really excited about. All through the comments, you'll see play. They'll say, "Hey, this person reminds me of this person. This person reminds me of this person." Well, guess what? Today, we're starting this segment where we're gonna give a shout out, and just kind of remind you how great these players were that got to play on in good old Mark Stadium under the lights. In that place that we affectionately call the Concrete Palace. So why not have Legends of the Concrete Palace? This is something that I'm super excited about, and yeah, I'm just ready to get into this show.
Absolutely, man. And then we'll round it out with a Harris County, I think they're Tigers, the Harris County Tigers preview for tomorrow night's game. And then we'll give you our predictions and take your predictions as well. Now, guys, none of this, no, absolutely none of this would be possible without our sponsors for this year. And we purposely keep it to a very low number of sponsors just so we can maximize the amount of time that we spend with you guys talking about the team and the upcoming games, that kind of stuff. But we do want to recognize the sponsors that make this possible. Case Tree Service, Jason Castleberry. If you need, somebody called me just this week, like, hey, can you recommend a tree service? I got a couple of trees need to be either taken out or trimmed back. Jason Castleberry is one of the best, if not the best in the business. So give him a call, Case Tree Service, Jason Castleberry. If you happen to be suffering from migraines. Professor, I've never had a migraine in my life, but I know plenty of people that have, and it can be debilitating. It really can. So if you're suffering from migraines, go give our sponsor a shout. Migraine and Spine Clinic of Valdosta, two fantastic guys. They're big time Lounge supporters in Josh Batson and Justin Haskin. I'm trying to get these guys on the program, but it hurts my heart a little bit. You know why, Professor?
What's that?
They're both big Florida Gator fans.
Oh man,
Big time. But that's okay. They're Viking fans, so I can live with it. I can live with it.
So you know what? This is why I only football season comes. I only drink Powerade. I don't drink Gatorade because I don't want nobody
I
to
love it.
confuse me for room for their team down there in Gainesville. So
Yep. So one of these days, I'm expecting someone to come out with a red flavored electrolyte drink, and we're going to call it Dog Aid. Right.
okay,
I love it. I
no.
love it. Okay, so a couple more sponsors. Corbin Wealth Management, Kyle Conger. He's the guy that handles my money. He's been doing it for years. And Kyle and I were actually just talking recently about, this economy is turbulent right now. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, depending on the week. And we're getting back to basics. And Armand, one of the basics that we're talking about is, what if you lose your job? What if you lose your job? So you want to have some money set aside. And he and I have come up with a plan where we're starting now. Can't do it all at once, but we're setting aside. This is a goal of ours to set aside 6 to 12 months worth of salary, right? It's going to take us a little while to get there. But once we're there, just in case something happens with
Yeah,
our career, that kind of stuff, you don't have to panic because you had that kind of money set aside. So that's the kind of advice that our guy Kyle Conger at Corbin Wealth Management does. He holds your hand throughout the whole process. And finally, our buddy Tim Neesmith, longtime Lowndes Viking. Um, I would call him an advocate and a pro Viking Nation guy. Tim Neesmith with a shade of perfection. If you need to dress up your windows, put some shades on that thing, improve your curb appeal because you're looking to sell your house, Tim Neesmith is your guy at a shade of perfection. Okay. So we'll visit those guys back a little bit later in the show. Let's talk about the Jenkins game.
yeah,
Uh, do, do you think we got off to a slow start?
I think so. I think
Okay.
so. We were marching right down the field, and then I think we got a I don't know if the holding penalty, offsides, something like that, kind of put us back, kind of left us in no man's land, went for it, and then turned it over. Then we gave them the ball back and we stopped them. But yeah, overall, it really was a slow start.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I wasn't expecting them to be tossing the ball around, especially once the weather kind of played out like it did. I was like, this is gonna be, a ground and pound.
That's right.
So,
That's right. So, what was your biggest takeaway from that game?
oh man, this my biggest takeaway was how good the defense was, um,
Yeah.
because I don't remember Jenkins running the wing T last year, right? And I don't remember
That is
us.
hard to adjust to, and we don't see it very much
No,
nowadays.
we don't, and I don't think we played a team all year that ran it any type of variation of it. And when they came out, I was like, oh wow, wing T, haven't seen this in a minute. And the defense adjusted to it, and just like we said, 2 weeks in a row, we've been saying, you can't run east to west on this defense. That team speed is just too much. And that's what they did. And they pretty much, I don't remember Jenkins crossing the 50, but maybe once,
Yeah.
going into getting into our territory. So that's what stood out to me the most, like how fast this team was playing on
Yeah.
defense.
Absolutely. There was a time there in the game where I was getting a little perturbed, and I think Jody Hewitt has summarized the feelings that I was feeling early on in that game. Check this out. He said, "LG about to call in a hit." He's making fun of my hat, man.
Yeah.
No, my takeaway is, well, one, we got a kicking game.
Yeah.
In high school football, if you got a kicking game, man, that is a weapon, and we've got a weapon, not just kickoffs, but a legit field goal team
Mhm.
and a punting game as well,
Yeah,
all in one guy. And hint, hint, he's happened to be one of my nominees for this week as for Player of the Week.
yeah, but he didn't kick the field goal, that 44-yard
Oh,
field goal.
that's right. You're right.
That
You're right.
that wasn't him, but all the kickoffs, nothing but end zone.
Mhm.
And I think we punted maybe once or twice, and good hang times, good coverage. And one of our concerns, going into that game was the kickoff coverage. Well, how do you eliminate that? You kick it out of the back of the end zone, and then you do that, you have no worries. So
Absolutely.
hopefully this right here eliminates the play I hate the most is the pooch kick. I
Yeah.
hate it. I hate it. I hate it. The end. So
I hate it too. Golly. Man.
I'm like, why do we do that? Why? I just saw him kicking out of the end zone. Why are we pooch kicking? So hopefully we don't get any pooch kicks this year. So
That's right. Okay, so rapid fire. Okay. Rapid fire. What do you think of these categories? Okay. Running game.
you want me to give it a grade or?
No, just your
Oh,
overall
okay.
description of it.
All right. I'm overall effective.
Okay.
Effective.
Offensive line.
Um, huh.
We'll
Offensive line. Okay.
we'll come
Offensive.
back to it.
Yeah, let's come back to offensive line.
Trey Robertson.
Um, I need to see more.
Passing game.
Didn't see it.
Non-existent. Okay.
Non-existent. Yeah.
Playmakers.
Playmakers. Mason Woods. Izzy Harrison. Um, Nick Booker, who recovered. Who made up. Man, if he would have came down with that interception, we got him.
Play calling.
Play calling. Expected.
Expected. Explosive plays.
We eliminated them. Other than that one, and we need more of them.
Gotcha. Okay. Said I would come back to it. Offensive line.
Offensive line was not as dominant as I wanted them to be and hope for them to be. But as the game wore on, and Eisenhower came out of the game, he had cramps, and I don't think he went back in.
Yeah.
But even then, his backup did a great job.
Yeah.
So they got pushed, but need to get him to get to that second level a little bit more.
Yeah, my takeaway from the offensive line was a little bit slower start, but
Mhm.
once they got cranking, I felt like they did a very, very effective job. It's the first game.
Yeah,
They did well. They got off to a slow start. Um, they ought to get off to a faster start against defenses like Jenkins, but I was overall pleased with their performance.
yeah,
Okay, defensive front,
dominant,
dominant, absolutely. Linebackers,
violent.
ooh, that's a good word. Good
Yeah.
word for linebackers. Secondary.
The secondary explosive because they were breaking on some balls, and suffocating. They gave up one pass pretty much all night. So
Yeah. So when we talk about the secondary, especially when we gave up that long pass, do you think we have a habit of peeking into the backfield?
I think so, but I also think that was they had been in that wing team. They
Yeah,
hadn't really pulled
that's
out
true. That's
anything.
true.
And they isolated Nick Booker, and Nick Booker was just slightly out of position, right? And they didn't score, but it led to a score. But he was slightly out of position on that play. And to be honest, I went back and I watched that play a couple of times, and the quarterback just slung it up, and it had a lot of error on there, and Nick might have misjudged it a little bit, and the receiver just adjusted and made a good play.
Gotcha. Okay. Tackling.
Tackling, excellent.
Excellent. A plus on tackling.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Pressure.
Pressure didn't really. Oh no, no, no. We had a few sacks,
Mhm.
so it was good.
Yeah, I was pleased with the pressure that we
Pleased with
got,
the pressure. Yeah.
especially this time versus this time last season.
Hmm.
I think we're way ahead of schedule as far as the pressure that we're getting from the front.
Yeah.
And overall speed.
Speed kills, baby.
Uh,
That's all I can tell you. Speed kills, and they were just flying. Everybody was flying all over the field, and that's something you can't coach speed. You
That's
know,
right.
that's something you can't coach. But yeah, Lions defense has speed. They have enough speed to share something.
That's right.
So that's being slow is not one of those things that you're gonna get out of this Lions defense.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's talk about it. We kind of talked early on, several weeks ago, leading into this season, that the offense was going to have to carry the defense and let the defense grow up a little bit.
Mhm.
But I'm not so sure that's the case now because the defense looks pretty good. So is the defense going to be the identity of the 26 Lions Vikings?
Well, I've always said defense wins championships,
Yeah.
right? That's something I've always said. So something I've always believed. You can go back through the annals of time, and even on those Tom Brady teams, their defense was top tier, right?
Yeah.
And the defense is going. I felt like coming into this year, that the defense itself was going to have to grow up,
Yeah.
right? And they were going to have to grow up fast and play fast and free,
Yep.
right? And as long as they could do that, man, they'll be good. Like, right, we just got a stat just came up and, had 11 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, a fumble recovery, a block punt, and a block PAT.
You know, listen, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to put that comment that you're referring to on the screen. This joker, this Viking here, Walter Thomas. I don't know Walter Thomas, but this is the second week where he has brought it in the
Yeah,
comments. Man, I am impressed with this guy. So someone that is knowledgeable enough to put these types of stats on, what man? Kudos to you, dude. He says Lions defense had 11 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 1 fumble recovery, 1 punt blocked, 1 PAT block. That's a good night.
really good night. And that's a good night regardless who you're playing.
Yeah,
Right? It don't matter who you're playing. And that just shows you, and they played fast. They played
yeah.
confident. And man, it was just lights out football for that defense. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, so let me get you you to give a grade very quickly on these categories. Offense,
B,
I got the same grade B. Defense,
A,
I got B plus. Special teams,
A+,
I've got A. Overall,
B+.
B plus. Same. Yeah, we're somewhere
Yeah.
in the same neighborhood there. Hey, before we get into the Langdale Kia Player of the Game, I want to make sure that we recognize a bunch of seniors that's going to get recognized tomorrow night, but I wanted to make sure we recognize them by name. So, listen, y'all stick with us during this segment of the show because I don't want you to tune out just because we're talking about players' names and that kind of stuff. Because we're going to recognize not just football players, but we're going to recognize senior band members, senior athletic trainers, senior ROTC members, and cheerleaders. All right. So here they are. Here are the varsity football seniors: Israel Harrison, Mason Woods, Demarion Treadwell, Marcus Vaughn, Jace Johnson, Andrew Thomas, Carter Stott, Travis Phelps, Taylor Douglas. Man, Taylor Douglas is getting into the game. I'm
Yeah,
impressed with the,
me
the
too.
hustle on that dude.
I'm so proud of him.
Yeah. So Detravius Plather, Ryan Tarver, Malik Martin, Braylon Neal, Keaton Williams, Fred Vaughn, Jacob Madden, LaQuentin Joseph, Colton Lupton, Amari James, Eli Edwards, Kevin Walden, Zane Hewitt, Justice Dean, Noah Bear, Owen Lofton, Caleb Radney, Abram Eisenhower, Corbin Wright, Cody Temple. Man, thank you to all these seniors for 4 fantastic years of Viking football. And once a Viking, you're always a Viking.
One Lions.
All right, so senior student athletic trainers. These are the boys and girls that work behind the scenes. They never ever get recognized, right? But they are an integral part of this team. So I want to make sure we recognize Queen Elise Riley, Mariah Rain, Strozer, Kyra Van Dam. So those 3 names again: Queen Elise Riley, Mariah Rain Strozer, and Kyra Van Dam. Senior band members: Mackenzie Atkins, Jalen Ball, James Barrett, Madeline Barton, Natasha Barzala, Kason Belant, Wesley Britt, Jaylee Brooks, Jalea Brown, Janiyah Brown, Caleb Brunston, Quinn Burgess, Riley Cowart, Ethan Estrada, Mariana Freeman, Kaylee Fry, Lizzie Galletti, Kason Guest, Noah Hogg. No, I'm sorry. Noah Haig. Sorry about that, Noah. Jenna Blake Hancock, Emily Harding, Michael Herring, Cadence Jackson, Mason Kautzman, Lisa Lane, Austin Long, Connor Long, Jaden Marquez. Is it Marquez or Marquez? Ethan Martin, Layla Moncrief Dean, Lorelei or Laura Lee Mullican, Lucas Quintero, Bladen Ray, Gabriel Richard, Elizabeth Richardson, Wes Richardson, Evelyn Mary Evelyn Say, Kayla Segura, John Simino, Mariah Smith, Ava Taylor, Sarah Tessier or Tessier, um, I'm not sure how to pronounce this word. Is it Nama or Nima? Maybe Nima Thomas, Briley Valor, Zachary Vickery, Ashlyn Washington, Francesca Weldon, Grace Westover, Tori Yerby or Tori Yerby, Matthew Yeomans. And so those are your senior band members. And I apologize if I mispronounced any of those names. That's not my intent. The senior varsity football cheerleaders, Maddie Bennett, Trey Brown, Lauren Cook, Kendall Dampier, Daisy Hill, Marilyn Lockwood, Kara Olhafen, Bethany Spell, Chastity Emma Webb, Aaron Weeks, the senior competition cheer leaders, Alona Bryant, Braylon Gilson, Anne-Marie Seelan, and the ROTC members, Adiron Durham, Ansley Marcotis, Austin Long, Shamir Peak, Connor Wolf, Jemiah Ford, Joshua Jones, Michael Zaborowski, Olivia Davis, Robert Conover, Savannah Salazar, Justice Webster, Perez Green, Jaden Yeomans, and Cadence Barrett. That was a lot of seniors, and it was our privilege to announce every single name. So, way to go, seniors.
Listen, let me tell you, there's no other year like your senior year, your last one. So make every day count. And yeah, congratulations. Proud of all of you guys.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Hey, listen, let's talk about some Langdale Kia players of the game nominees. So, we're going to play a little video from the general manager at Langdale Kia that's sponsoring this episode or this segment.
Hey Viking Nation, this is Kelly Walker, General Manager of Langdale Kia Valdosta. We're excited to introduce a brand new segment here at Viking Nation, the Langdale Kia Player of the Week. Each week, we'll announce the nominees and you, the fans, will get to go vote and decide who earns Player of the Week honors. So follow along, cast your vote, and help us recognize and honor our Vikings for their big performances each week.
So that was Kelly, the general manager at Langdale Kia. Professor, you know a thing or two about Langdale Kia.
Oh yeah, that's my place of business. We always do everything we can to make sure it's a place that you feel comfortable first and foremost, and that you'll be more than willing to say, hey, y'all go see Armand down there at Langdale Kia, and go see Kelly down there at Langdale Kia, because we do everything we can to keep to treat you right and to keep those doors revolving. And then we also like to give back to the community. Last year we passed out, waters and Gatorades, and this year we get a chance to sponsor this. So thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Langdale Kia, and thank you guys, Viking Nation. So you guys get to participate now.
Absolutely. All right. So without further ado, the nominees are for this week. So, man, you sent me your nominees, Trey Robertson
Mhm.
and Mason Woods.
Yeah.
And mine too are Jacob Madden and John Hogan.
Yep.
Okay. So, guys, those are your four nominees: Trey Robertson, Mason Woods, Jacob Madden, and John Hogan. And I know I know what you're thinking. I wish I could vote for every single one of them because they all deserve a vote. But we're only recognizing one, okay? Because we can only afford one T-shirt.
I was going to say the old Highlander movie. There could be only one.
There can be
So
only one. But the truth is, we can only
yeah,
afford one T-shirt.
that's exactly. So
All right, so it's up to you guys. We're not going to throw in a vote. Trey Robertson, Mason Woods, Jacob Madden, or John Hogan, and we'll announce the winner at the end of the show. Okay.
yeah,
Okay. So make sure you cast your vote. All right. Here's our one of our favorite segments ever. Overreaction or legit. This is where I give an outrageous statement and you say it's in either an overreaction or legit, and possibly you give your reason why. Fair enough. And audience, you guys can take part as well. If you think this is an overreaction, just put over. If you think it's legit, type in legit. Okay. Here we go. Lowndes has a championship caliber defense.
legit.
Ooh, after game one, you're ready to call it.
Listen, I've been screaming all ever since we started. Izzy, Treadwell, Marcus Vaughn, Allen, and now we got John Juju Hogan. Like, and let me tell you, John Hogan. I was talking to you, Larry,
Yeah,
and
you were. I remember.
all we heard was pow. Look back, you see feet in the air, and John Juju Hogan, number 4, standing up, flexing and everything. I'm like, ooh, and then I see Coach Quinn. He said, "I told y'all, I told you it was coming," and listen, that man is the truth. Like John Hogan, that's just another playmaker that, I've been hearing about him, from the various coaches I talked to and other people who've been following him, and I've known his dad forever,
Yeah.
and to finally get to see it out there on Friday, that was something.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the song that went through my head when I heard John Hogan's name called out over and over and over again was
Mhm.
"Here comes the boom."
Here comes the boom.
Here
He
comes
ain't
the boom.
Listen, he ain't coming to he ain't coming to play. He ain't playing with you. That man means business.
That's right.
So
That's right. Listen, uh, Roosevelt Robertson has cast his vote. Who do you think he voted for?
Trey Robinson.
I would be disappointed if he didn't vote for Trey Robertson. So
Yeah.
noted, your vote has been tallied, Mr. Robertson.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lowndes has a championship caliber defense. You say it's legit. There are some that saying, kind of pump the brakes there, Professor. It might be a little too early to call it legit. So some are saying it's an overreact. Okay. So the running game will be the strength of the Lowndes offense.
Legit.
That's legit. I think we can move on
Yeah.
because we don't have a passing game yet.
Not yet.
Lowndes needs to show more in the passing game.
Legit.
Legit. Absolutely
Legit.
legit. Okay. Man, these have been easy. So Lowndes is currently this was okay. You ready for this conversation? Lowndes is currently the best team in Region 17A. That's
Legit.
a tough one.
Legit.
Tough one.
Who else I'm gonna say? Right? Legit. That's legit. However, let me just say this, and I say
Okay.
this.
What if you take your crimson colored glasses off and then you answer the question?
It's that team over there on Forest Street. Look, I've
Ooh,
I've, I've
ooh.
been I've been saying this since last week. I said last week, said the week before. They got a good team over there,
Yeah.
right? And they're in year what, coach 5 or 6 under Coach Felton. I can't remember. But they got a good team. And they got some playmakers over there, especially on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. But yeah, it's out of Lowndes and Valdosta. That's what it's gonna boil down to.
Yeah, absolutely. When you look and we'll talk about the region as a whole, how they performed Friday night, but I was surprised by some of the teams, and I was not surprised by others.
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised how Lowndes did. I wasn't surprised how Valdosta did. I was slightly surprised at how badly Colquitt lost to see. I figured they would lose, but I didn't see a thumping coming.
No, no, that was embarrassing. That was an embarrassing loss. And so let me just say this, right? I know a lot of people complain about scheduling and everything,
Yeah.
but when you go play these teams, right? You do have to. You hope you do understand that these things can happen, right? And you going over there and get your head bashed in like that, it can have a long lasting effect on the psyche and the morale of your team. So
The
if
flip
you,
side of that is it does expose weaknesses early.
yeah, yeah. So like me personally, the first game of the season, I probably wouldn't have scheduled a TCC caliber team.
Yeah.
Maybe the third game, fourth game, but first game of the season, nah.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. First game, man, if I designed the perfect schedule for a team, the first game is going to be a cupcake. I'll
Yeah,
be honest with you, it's going to be a cupcake. Second game, it's going to be a quality team. Third game, you ought to be hitting on all cylinders. So go out and schedule a world beater. Fourth team, high quality team. Fifth game, now you're starting to bring it down, prepare for region play.
mhm,
Yeah, it's probably a homecoming, that kind of stuff. Not a cellar dweller, but not the greatest team in the world, just what I call a quality team. Sixth game, you're basically taking a break, cupcake, or maybe you're starting region play, and then the rest of it is region play.
yeah. I'm with you.
So
I'm
I
with
would
you on
build it
that.
up, then bring it back down.
I am with you on that. And look, I don't really follow too closely with what they're doing up there in the hall pen, but they got some pride about themselves, and
Yeah.
historically they do anyway. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So I think the last, no. So here's some. Here's another overreact or legit. Colquitt County's week one loss is a major red flag.
The week one losses are always overreactions.
Okay. Fair. That's fair.
Wins or losses are always overreactions.
Hmm. Okay. So what do we have? So, last one is Valdosta is better than people expected.
Overreaction. Because
Okay.
I don't know many people who said Valdosta isn't going to be good this year.
Okay.
Right? I don't know. I haven't ran into one person other than if they don't wear this, right? That says, "Hey, Valdosta is going to be trash this year." Not one. Not one. And you would have to really be hating or just naive to the situation if you can't. If you follow any smidgen of high school football to know what they had coming back, yeah, you wouldn't say Valdosta was going to be trash this year
Oh yeah.
at all. So
All right. So let's talk about the Region 1 7A stock report. Who impressed and who disappointed?
um, I think Valdosta impressed me. Um, even though I expected them, that's still a long trip. That was a long trip to Jones County. But they were impressive. Copper County disappointed. I don't know, how did the Camden Brunswick game play out.
Brunswick did win that game. I believe it was 35-21.
And didn't I say Brunswick might win that game? I'm
You
pretty
did.
sure I said
You
that.
did. You did.
Yeah. Stock is even at Camden. I wasn't really big on Camden. That was Chase. Chase is real big on Camden, and Richmond Hill stock even.
Um, Chase who?
Gonto.
Don't tell him I said that.
He's watching. I'm pretty sure he's watching.
He's probably watching. He's like, dang, LG. Sorry, buddy. I had to get that in there. I had to get that in there. All right. So, all right. Hold on one second. I'm trying to pull this guy. Okay. So, it's no secret. I think Colquitt did disappoint. Um, who impressed me was probably Camden, and then followed closely by Richmond Hill. I think, man, that that team over there on the coast, I think they're going to be sneaky good this year. When I say sneaky good, it's just because we don't hear much about them because they're so far away. But I think they're going to be sneaky good this year. I think they're going to surprise a lot of teams.
Yeah. Okay, so Camden beat Brunswick 35-20. Yeah, okay.
They did, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I think stock's even. You know, yeah, stock's even on Camden.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm with you on Richmond Hill though. Richmond Hill, they, for me, they've been on our radar, been on my radar for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I think last year, I think I probably gave them more credit than they ended up earning.
Yeah.
But not Camden, but Richmond Hill, that's a program that's on the rise. Like if you didn't go to the game last year, you get another chance to go back up there this year. And when you see those facilities,
Yeah.
up there at Richmond Hill, man, it's a beautiful campus.
It really is. Did we go there last year? We did, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
Man, that they've built a new state. Guys, if you remember the first year they were in we went over there and played an away game over there, and that field was basically a horse pasture. I mean, it was muddy. It was real grass. I mean, which is fine, but it was just chunky and it was bad lighting, and the bleachers were awful. That kind of stuff. And we can say that because we lost. And you never say anything good about your opponent when you lose. But they have really, really upgraded their facilities. We were so impressed last year.
Yeah, it was. I was like, wow, this is nice. That's all I can say is that this is nice.
So, Coach Trainer, he's challenging what I said about Richmond. He says Richmond Hill beat Effingham by 1. I think they'll surprise themselves right into last in the region. That's the thing that you got to admire about Coach Trainer. There's very little room about what he thinks. Yeah, you're not going to reinterpret what he says. He says what he thinks, and I appreciate that in a person.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about. We got to talk. We got to spend a couple of minutes about Colquitt County and Thomas County Central. We expected TCC to win that game. Our buddy Colmore, friend of the show.
I know he's grinning. I know he's skinning and grinning right now.
You know what he says to me?
What do you say?
He said, LG, if Colquitt ends up winning Region 1 7A, can we just come pick up the region championship trophy and just bring it over to Central?
Absolutely not.
He's putting us on notice, man.
But this isn't the first time that people are acting like this is the first time that Colquitt has lost to Thomas County Central.
Right.
It's a rivalry. They play each other a lot, and they have played each other a lot. And man, I remember 2 years in a row, Joe Burns beat them pretty solidly. And back in the the Ed Pilcher days, and for what they got over there right now is not surprising. Like Thomas County Central is one of the best teams in the state, and easily top 25 in the nation. So
yeah. So, Alan Lott's got an interesting question. Who's playing quarterback for us tomorrow night?
I would probably lean on Trey Robinson. From everything that I've heard, Jace isn't quite ready, even though some people say he's running full speed now.
Yeah.
We just don't know what's going on with his knee. We don't know like what surgery he actually had.
Yeah.
We don't know. We just don't know. And unlike me and you, like we go have knee surgery, we come out of that brace in about 6 to 8 weeks, maybe, and we go on with our life. But with these athletes, you got to pass certain tests and everything.
Hold up. You said you're talking about you and me having knee surgery.
Yeah.
I'll be 56-year-old tomorrow. If I had knee surgery, I'm out 6 months.
6 months.
I'm out 6 months, man. Ain't no 6 to 8 weeks. What are you, crazy?
But what I'm saying is we'll get on with our regular lives.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
What we're doing after 6 to 8 weeks, we're okay. Because we don't have stress tests to pass because we're not cutting and stopping on the dime. But yeah, now as far as if it was me, yeah, I'm right along with you. About 6 months before I probably feel okay, I'm right again, but I'll be able to get in and out of my truck, sit at that desk, come back, sit in the living room, watch. Like my day to day life will be back to normal in about 6 to 8 weeks. But for these athletes that's playing, it's gonna be, they got to pass these stress tests and everything else like that. So it's gonna be interesting, just something to
Right.
watch.
Right.
And the fact that Lounge, at least right now, use the quarterback a lot they use the quarterback a lot in their run game.
Yep.
And I'm okay with them keep holding him back and not risking him coming back too early.
Listen, I got to address something here.
All
This
right.
comment has just got under my skin, and I got to address it. I got to address it right now. My buddy, Daryl Britt, the interloper, he is a fan of that. How do you describe him? That team that formerly on Forestry,
The team that used to be on Forest
a
Street, yeah.
team that used to be on Forestry. Let me put this comment. He says, he says, "Oh, we know he's scared to get hit." He's talking about Jay. Listen, there ain't nobody in the crimson and white scared of no kitty cat, Daryl Britt. I'm just telling you right now. Nobody in a crimson and white uniform is scared of no dang yellow cat. That's just period. No, okay. I'm just kidding with you. So I would not be surprised to see Jace in the game tomorrow night, and I would not be surprised to see him sit out another week.
Yeah,
I'm being told that watch out for his return. It is imminent. I
yeah,
don't know if that's tomorrow night or next Friday night, but his return is imminent.
yeah. Look, right now I'm not worried. I think Trey Robinson came out and did a great job. I really have nothing to complain about other than hold on to the ball a little bit
Yep.
tighter, squeeze the ball a little tighter. But wet ball, running the ball a lot, is bound to happen. And first game as he's only a sophomore, and man, that kid's tall. He's taller than I thought he was.
Yeah.
I won't even lie. And so I would love nothing more than to see him sit back in that pocket because he could throw dimes.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys, we are approaching 10 or so minutes left in the show. If you want to get in on this action and give us your vote on who the Hyundai Kia Viking Nation Player of the Week is, okay, you need to go ahead and cast your vote. Remember those nominees: Trey Robertson, Mason Woods, Jacob Madden, or John Hogan. Right now, it is a statistical dead heat between John Hogan and Trey Robertson.
yeah, and that's
So,
not to say take anything away from Mason Woods. Mason Woods carried about 20 times, I think 76 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a block punt. That's all I'm saying. From
that's
your start, a block punt from your starting running back.
yep,
So, you gotta love that, man.
that's right. So let's count up these votes real fast. So John Hogan's got, let's see, one. Let's see, where's that? Shoot, I hate counting votes on the air. 3, 4. Yeah, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. 3. Yeah. So you need to help me you need to help me count.
All right.
I should have been marking them down as they were voting. Okay. So while he's doing that, I'm going to get you to, guys, we got to talk about, well, since you're counting that, I was going to go into Legends of the Concrete Palace, but I'll skip out to the next portion or segment. And that's our preview of the game tomorrow night. Harris County is coming to the Concrete Palace. Senior night tomorrow night. 5 things to watch for that I'm looking at. Can Lowndes establish the run again consistently and get out to a quicker start? We know that they can run the ball, but it's just how fast can this offensive line get going? You hear what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Are you still counting?
I'm still trying to count, man.
See?
I done started over about 3 times already. We
Listen,
should next week we put a
maybe we
poll up.
should solicit someone in our audience to help us count.
Yeah.
How
Or
about
see
that?
if we can just put a poll up. See if we get a poll going, I guess.
You
I
know,
don't
that's a
know.
good idea. I'm gonna work on that for next week. Try to get us a legit poll so you can just click on and it'll
Yeah,
calculate it for us. I don't know how to do it, but I'll figure it out.
we'll figure
That's
it
right. All right. So, uh, how quickly can the run game get going tomorrow night?
They should be able to get going pretty early. And I say this because Harris County, smaller school, I think they won 28-6 against I forgot who they played, but they're a 1A, 2A school. Um, but they should be able to. Lowndes holds a physical advantage on the offensive and defensive lines, but primarily we're talking about the offense right now. So they
Mhm.
should be able to get there. And hopefully there's not any delays. So if they're in the groove, they're going to be, that Plyboy Moving Company, the Mayflower Moving Company is going to be churning. So they
Yeah.
should be able to get it early.
Yeah. I got you. Okay. So I'm expecting them to, because listen, they've had to be, they've had to hear that all week long from Adam Carter and that offensive line coach, tight ends coach, anybody that's involved in run block is reminding this offensive line, we got to get going faster. We got to get going quicker.
Yeah, gotta
And
get that push.
I was pleasantly surprised at several times during the game last week that we went up tempo
Yeah,
on that offense. I mean, they were trying to snap it as fast as they can snap it, which surprised me because I thought they were going to protect the defense. But that indicates to me that their confidence in the defense is a lot farther along than we anticipated.
yeah. But I've been saying it
You
over and
have,
over
and one of these
again.
days I'm going to listen to you.
Yeah, but I've been saying that over and over and over again that I'm not worried about the defense. I'm worried about the offense. Mainly because the turmoil that's been on that side of the ball.
Yeah,
We're replacing key players, and we're still waiting on Jace, who I believe this offense is essentially built around. To insinuate his skill set, and but I'm going to be honest with you. That offensive line has to establish itself. It has to because I don't like the idea of Mason getting 20 carries in game one, in week one, right? I don't
why
like that.
why is that?
I just don't. I think if the offensive line plays better early, right, it allows Danny Vickers to come in, take off some of that load. But when you're constantly 2nd and 8 instead of 2nd and 6, and you get into those situations like that, then of course you're leaning on your bell cow, more often than not. And it's a long season. Football is a war of attrition, and whoever's normally is the healthiest going, the last stretch of the season normally has the most success. So I want to keep him fresh. I want to keep him fresh because I want to see him go for 200 against Colquitt and that team that used to be on Forest Street.
That's right.
So
That's right. So, do we see the passing game open up this week?
I I want to be optimistic, but nah, I don't think so.
I don't think so
Um,
either. I think it's a mistake, and that's just a
me too.
personal opinion. You guys can agree or disagree. I just think it's a mistake. I think you obviously we're going to work on our running game, but I think it's wise to use these early games to
Mhm.
develop, get some valuable reps in the passing game because there's going to come a time in the season when our backs against the wall and we're not going to be able to run as much as we want, and
Yeah,
our production is going because we're going to see better defenses, right?
exactly.
So you got to have a complementary passing game to come along with it.
Yeah, and I get it. I know what Coach Carter said he wants the identity
Yeah,
of the team to be. However, though, you still need about 14 to 16 passing plays
yeah,
minimum. And just to get the chemistry between the QB and the receivers. Get the receivers used to running those routes, catching those balls,
right.
taking off. And six times a game, I just don't think that's enough. However, I do understand the conditions that we were in, and just trying to get that. And the more you do something, the more
Yeah,
comfortable you are at doing it, and the better you get at it. So I just I know I said I went up pick over last week.
I
I'm
think
going
we
under.
set that number at 15 and you picked over.
I picked over because I I thought we see it, and we started off. I think we threw 6 passes in the first half,
Yeah.
and I think we ended up for the night 4 for. Well, I know Trey ended up 4 for 7 for 16 yards. Mason Woods had a 20-yard pass to Weidinger, and that was it.
We ended up 5 for 8.
5 for 8. Yeah. See, so I was right. So 4 for 7 for
And
Trey.
Mason
That one.
Mason Woods threw one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so let's lower that over under. Let's set the number at 10. We going over or under passing?
uh, uh, I'm
It
taking
shouldn't
over.
be this hard. It should not be this hard.
No, wait. It's I think gonna be the conditions still gonna be a little wet. So I'm gonna take the under.
And you bring up a good point. Maybe that's why we didn't throw the ball very
Yeah.
much last week, because you still got a wet field and a wet ball.
Yeah.
So
So
maybe that's it.
oh yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna set the number at 10. I'm gonna go slightly over this week and say
You
12.
know?
I'm gonna go
Optimistic
over.
Larry. Let's go.
I'm gonna go over this week and set it at 12. You know,
12. Okay. I
that's,
got
that's
9. 9 passes.
9 passes. I hope we do more than 9 passes. Okay, so I think we will throw the ball 12 times for 125 yards.
I got 9 for 80.
Yeah, listen. If we go 12 completions for 125, that's a good passing night
Mhm.
for a high school football team.
And see, and for me, it's like the way I look at it is to have an effective passing game, you don't have to sling it around 20, 30 times.
Mhm.
You just have to be efficient and execute. And I won't, like you said, by not doing it, I do think it's a mistake. However, we'll see. If it's dry, then yeah, I'll go ahead and concede early. But if it's wet,
Yeah. Check this out. So this is why we always emphasize, whether it's politics or voting on player of the week, every vote counts. Our guy, Travis Hart, tabulated these votes for us. He says John Hogan has 6 votes. Trey Robertson has 8 votes. It's a close dead heat. And this is your last chance. Who you voting for? We're gonna narrow it down to these 2 guys.
thanks,
John
Trav.
Hogan,
Appreciate it.
Trey Robertson. All right. So Jody Hewitt says tunnel screen when it's set up is a gasher. Absolutely, man.
It
Man, I
is.
would love to see more tunnels. I would love to see more slant passing. Especially when you got a wet ball, wet field.
Yeah.
Those long routes are kind of those are they just take a long time. So I think if we can get some slants and some tunnel screens, I think we've got the athletes to turn those into 10, 15, 20-yard gains.
Yeah, that rack. The yak yards after well no, that's yards after contact.
That's right. Yards after catch. How about
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yards after catch. But yeah, that's where that's where you it just takes the wind out you, right? When you'll see it, you're like, okay, 2nd and 9, and next thing you know, or it's 1st and 10, and they come up with that tunnel screen or the bubble screen, and they get 15, 20 yards, and it just turns it up a notch.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I want to see it.
So before we give our game predictions, I'm going to say this one sentence and you complete this sentence for me. Okay.
All right.
The one thing I need to see from Lowndes Friday night is
Established running game early.
okay. Get going quicker. Get going
Get
quicker.
going quicker. Yep.
The one thing I need to see from Lowndes Friday night is 12 passes.
Stop at 10.
I need 12 passes tomorrow night.
Stop at 10 for me. Just so I can be right.
You complete 12 balls for 125 yards. You run for another 300, 350 yards. That's a really, really good offensive night. And you're winning the vast majority of your football games if you have that kind of offensive production. That's how you protect the Palace. So what's your game prediction for tomorrow night?
I'm gonna lean 38-6.
38-6.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm assuming 38 Lowndes, right?
Oh yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
I think Lowndes gets off to a much, much quicker start this week, and it is going to be 45-7 Lowndes.
I go with that.
Yep.
I'll take that.
Okay. All right. So I think we're going to close off our voting this week, and the winner by a hair is Trey Robertson.
Trey Robinson. So look, we're gonna have this with us. So if anybody want to grab it from us at the game, just Trey or mom, dad, whoever sees us, we'll definitely get this to you. I'll have it in my bag.
Yeah. And Travis Hart says it's Lowndes by 50.
Not by 50, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. But I have to be realistic now. But wait till week 9 and 10.
Yeah.
Wait till that.
So Jody Hewitt says, I think we hang 40 on them. I do too, man. I got a good feeling. I think we're going to get off a strong start. Now, if we face another 2-hour delay because of lightning, I mean, it's all bets off, man. It doesn't matter if we win by 2 or 10. I just want to see the game go by as quickly as possible, because getting home at almost 12:30, that's for the birds.
Oh yeah. I think the game ended at 12:03.
Man,
yeah.
I'm getting too old for that. Getting too old for that.
And I had to go to work the next morning.
I know, right?
So I was struggling.
All right, guys, before we wrap it up tonight, thank you so much for our seniors. 4 fantastic years. We've enjoyed watching every single snap, every single cheer, every single band performance, and every single time you guys march on the field with ROTC, donning those colors that we all admire so much. Okay. We want to thank Case Tree Service, Jason Castleberry, Migraine and Spine Clinic of Valdosta. That's Josh Batson and Justin Haskin. Corbin Wealth Management, Kyle Conger. A Shade of Perfection, that's our buddy Tim Neesmith. And we want to thank Langdale Kia for sponsoring the Langdale Kia Player of the Week.
All right.
What's your last word, Professor?
Oh, we still got to do Legend of the Concrete Palace.
Oh my God!
We still got to do that one.
I forgot.
We still got to do that one. It won't take long, Larry. It won't take long.
Man, you sent me a nice graphic about that too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, talk about the Legend of the, and I'll try to get this graphic up.
All right. So our first legend is going to be Randall Godfrey. Randall Godfrey is probably the most famous Viking when it comes to football. And you know what? When it started at the University of Georgia, before he was a second-round draft pick by the Dallas Cowboys in 1996, Randall Godfrey was an all-state linebacker right there at the Concrete Palace at Lowndes High. Randall Godfrey, I got a chance to see him play from he was in middle school all the way up till he retired. So he was all SEC. He made I think a couple of all NFL teams or whatnot, whatever you call it. And Randall Godfrey is our first inaugural, I guess that's what you call it, Legend of the Concrete Palace. And this is the one thing I'll say. You see Randall, he comes home, he comes to the games. If you see him, you speak to him. He's one of the most approachable and just a fine individual, that nicest, kindest person that you'll probably ever meet. If you want an autograph, he'll get that for you. A picture, he'll take it with you. And our hats off goes to Randall Godfrey, Legend of the Concrete Palace.
Absolutely, man. So we saw him last year up at North Gwinnett.
Yeah.
In the playoff game on the sidelines. And he came up to me, introduced himself. I was just walking by him. I was just focused on getting to the bathroom, but he stopped me. He says, LG. And I turned around. He introduced himself to me. He said, you know what he said? It made me feel good. He says, man, I watch your show all the time. You guys do a great job. So look, these guys go off. Once a Viking, always a Viking. You guys are always welcome. Tune into the show, and I would love to have them on the show, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, and I just think it's a lot of people always ask me, who was the best? Who was this? Who was this? Everybody
was a hard answer.
It's hard. It's hard. But one of the names that always get brought up is Randall Godfrey, and rightfully so. And I can just say, I had the honor to get to watch him play in middle school and in high school, and one of the reasons why I'm a Georgia fan now. So
Yeah.
my hats off to Randall Godfrey.
Yeah, and Jody Hewitt reminds us, man, how about Michael Barrett getting signed by the Baltimore Ravens this week?
Let's go. Let's
Let's
go.
go. I'm all of a sudden a Ravens fan.
Let's go. Also, Jakari Fleming, Smoke. He plays. If you got ESPN Plus, they're going to be on at 7:30. I know most of you guys will be at the game, but if you're not at the game, Smoke's going to be playing. He's going to be suiting up.
Absolutely. Well, guys, we're going to end it at that because I'm hungry. I got to go. We'll see you guys at the Palace tomorrow night. Hopefully, we won't have a lightning delay, but if it is, that's okay. We'll use that time to visit with you, that kind of stuff. So don't be shy. Come up, say hello. We would love to talk shop with you. And God bless every single one of you. And as always, you want to say it?
Go Vikings.
Go Vikings.